some time with the dead.
On demand almost. We'd be like, hey, can you like touch the duck or make it go off? And it would just start lighting up and going crazy.
Why should we be afraid of you? Hello and welcome to Whatgoesbump tonight. I'm your host, Riley Clark, and alongside me, as always, is
Trevor Jensen.
And our special guests, Devon and PJ from Among the
Oh,
Unknown.
damn. It's Devon.
Oh, is it Devon? Sorry, bro. Sorry.
I call him
I've
Devon.
only
The
seen
best
it-
part is it's like
all the time.
it's like
It's an occurrence.
I
also
was gonna
can't
say
read,
we
so-
normally fuck names up because it's just so easy to do it. And it's like at least once a week, it's like, fuck, what was that name? Was
Yeah.
it this? Was it that? See, he even said it before this. He said Asher Roth. 100% is not correct.
Yep.
I can't talk. It's a known fact.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
But I guess what I want to start off with, you boys, is what got you guys into, I guess, exploring abandoned places and, investigating the paranormal.
That spooky shit.
Oh,
To
man.
start that story. I guess I'll start it. So that was what was it,
2016, bro. 7
2016.
years ago.
Yeah, I found
Y'all are babies. Just gonna say that.
April Fool's.
Wait. Before
What?
that, me and him are actually a week apart.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
he-
That's
he's a
even
week
more
older.
crazy.
I'm a week older than him.
Yeah. So April 1st of 2016, I stumbled across this abandoned house, taking a walk basically from my grandma's, and we found this house, and I'm like, hey guys, you guys want to check this out with me? And we all got together. I don't know if it was the same day or the day after.
It was the next day. It was like, because I think you told us on a Friday and we went during the weekend.
Something like that. Yeah,
Something like that.
They actually thought it was a joke. I was messing with them.
Yeah,
being April 1st.
our third member Morgan, who's not here with us for this stream, but we both thought that it was a joke at first, and he was like, "Oh, it's April 1st. I didn't even know that."
Yeah, so we all wind up going down there, and I think we actually had a couple buddies along.
Yeah.
And we check out the place and do a little recording on it, and I guess we go home, and throughout the week we're sitting there thinking about it. I guess. And
No. We
did we
waited.
go
We waited
back?
throughout the summer. This was right before summer vacation.
it was a whole summer.
And then once we came back to school, we were sitting at the lunch table, and we were just discussing about it. We're like, dude, we want to do that again. And so I was like, we should create a YouTube channel. And so we're just sitting there, me, him, and Morgan. We're trying to come up with names. Back and forth, we start spitting out ideas. And
Yeah.
I forgot like whose idea, like who said
It
what.
was bits and pieces.
It was
multiple
bits and
names.
pieces, and
Yeah.
then we combined them at the end and made Among the Unknown.
I love that. That's pretty much what we did. We spat ideas at each other for at least a week straight until finally
Yep.
I think Riley was just like, what goes bumping the night? And I was like, that's it. That's fucking
That's
it.
exactly what happened. That's exactly. I remember we were literally working because we worked together
Yeah.
when we were coming up with this idea. And I literally had like a list. He had a list, and then it wasn't
My
even
list
on the
was
list.
not
And I just
good.
go, bro, I got it. I'm gonna come run down there. I ran down there and I go, what goes bumping tonight? And he's like, that's it. Yes, that's the one right there. So we
So
totally
that's
get
how
that.
it was. That's how our brainchild was named, and it just came to be.
Hey man,
That's great. Like just piece it together like a puzzle, and then boom, you got it.
exactly. And like the first year that we started the YouTube channel, immediately 1,000 subscribers. In the second year, 2,000, and we started literally just using GoPro cameras.
Yeah.
GoPro
And-
cameras are amazing.
Like
I
he
know
had,
Wolf Paranormal. He's freaking all about the GoPro
Mhm.
cameras.
yeah, he told me about that. He was using the GoPro Hero Session
It's 5.
1.
Is it?
I have the 5. You
Oh,
you have
really?
the first one.
Oh yeah.
So
I-
you
Gen 1.
yeah.
And it was funny because back in 2016 and then 2017, we basically started exploring abandoned places right before / while it was starting to become mainstream.
Yeah, before the popularity wave really blew up.
before like
Yeah.
exploring with Josh really like had it take
I mean,
off.
back then, all you had was Exploring with Josh and the Proper People.
And they still weren't big yet. They were still on that like. And
Even the
there we
Proper
go.
People back then were using GoPros too, actually. And just since then, like back in 2017, we were just stuck at 2,000 subscribers because the URBEX scene was becoming so like saturated and becoming mainstream. We were just like sitting there and we're like, what do we
do? Yeah, I
like,
know that exact question. What do you guys think set you apart then? Like, because it seems like, because that's actually really quick like channel growth, because we haven't even hit 1,000
We
subscribers
haven't
on our
even hit
YouTube
500
yet.
yet.
Yeah, so I mean, like, what do you think really did it for your channel that is different from most other urbex or ghost exploring channels?
I don't
Damn,
know.
Oh fuck! The
good question.
real interview is now.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, all
Right.
we really did was just tell our friends
Followed
that
the cookie cutter outline and just stamped it out.
all we did was just tell our friends in high school to like, hey, check our channel, and then we just became a thing. Really.
I don't think we're really following any rules. I mean, we just
You
kinda,
know what's hilarious though? I
did.
have noticed that out of all of our younger friends that have talked to us and done this, if they are in the friend group zones still of like just being out of high school or being in high school or like in college and like being able to network closer to people like that, their channels are usually a lot bigger than ours, and it's like, damn, fuck, I wish I would have did
It's
this
a
in high
lot harder
school.
when you're like trying to market to like
30-year-olds.
25 and 30-year-olds because you
Yeah.
tell them to sub or subscribe. By the way, you should sub or subscribe.
But everybody's lazy.
Like,
At least my
they just
generation
don't do
is.
it, you know, like we're pretty fortunate to where like most of our viewers are actually subscribers. We're to that point where like we do have like a loyal, you know, night crew.
Yeah, I would say
members.
like
They're here every week.
Blair
all 5
Witch
of 'em.
cult following.
The thing is with us is that 2020 really actually surprisingly helped us a lot.
Yeah.
Because while everything was shut down, we were able to actually go exploring. But there was a certain point of time where I didn't see him for months. And so I had to literally buckle down. I was literally taking Ubers and Lyfts to abandoned places just so we can actually have content for the channel. And that actually helped kick us up on like subscribers and Facebook group promotions. And then getting even eventually monetized, because we lost the monetization after YouTube changed their whatever policy.
They did their bullshit.
Yeah, and then like we just started.
I thought that was the end. I was like, we're done.
Thankfully, what actually, I even spoke about this on Twitter, even very recently. What helped us was posting in Facebook groups.
Yeah,
and like Facebook groups dedicated to like genres, like abandoned houses, abandoned in general, urbex, churches, schools, whatever, and just even there's this one Facebook group that's dedicated to abandoned places in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I would just post there. There's like a strategy like how to do it and how to like really make it like look good. And we just started bringing in more viewers, and that's really what kicked us now to where we are now.
Yeah, that helped us out a lot too when we first started. So like I joined a lot of podcasting groups.
Yeah,
and because of that, I met some really awesome people, you know, just through chatting with them, comment section. And then we joined this group called Indie Pods United. And during COVID, we did like this giant summit. It was a week long, 24 hours of podcasts.
They had people from Saturday Night Live, like,
it was crazy. And we actually headlined like the first day.
Yeah, and it was the inaugural year. They had us in the headlining spot. So it was like, oh fuck. And this was our first legitimate live too. So me and Riley were like
live before ever.
Yeah, me and Riley looked at each other.
No idea what we were doing whatsoever.
What do I do?
And I remember we had like an idea of what we were going to do. As soon as we went live,
didn't do a single fucking thing from it. It was like if you take a script and just ball it up and go, and we're going from the top, boys. It's literally that's how we do everything though. I've only written one script in my entire fucking life, and it was awesome. And I didn't even read it. I used like I used the littlest bits.
I'll
of
tell
it.
you what, that'll teach you how not to use a script.
Pretty much. We've read more AI written stories and content on our show than like anything else, honestly. Riley has written a whole story, and so has Jenna. So I can't say that I can't say I can take any
I've
credit
written
for that
multiple
bullshit.
stories.
But yeah,
I'm a
so it's like
borderline author.
they're damn near authors, but I'm over here like I just read stuff with cool voices. So like, what do you want from me?
So what was like, I guess, the one experience that you've had that really like sparked not just an interest, but like a belief that, you know, the paranormal is real?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It can be
we really make you
multiple,
think.
too. Like if a string of events happen, that's
Yeah,
fine too.
I think it was over and over again with me because there were times where I did believe, and then I was like, you know, we go through a location and get like nothing from like the investigation we do.
Wait, no. There was times where like we're just doing abandoned stuff, just regular abandoned, and then like he would be like, "Yo, I'm getting a strange vibe about this place," and then I mean, not necessarily paranormal, but he would say that,
It just feels creepy.
and then something happens afterwards. Like something just randomly happens afterwards, like
Like a noise or
A door
something.
slams or some bullshit.
not like that, but yes. But
Yes and
I'm
no.
rambling on stuff.
Yeah. Where was that? So like sometimes I'll think like, oh well, this could be chalked up as I don't know the knocks we heard was I don't know a loose floorboard or something, you know.
Right. Yeah. It could
The house settling,
realistically.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'd go into places like the Bel Air house when we did that investigation, and it's like this is real, you know.
Yeah. Like
That
this
a
is
spot
I
on my
can't
bucket
explain.
list, for
I-
sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
we did investigations before the Bel Air house, which we did that in 2022. Yeah, we did in 2022, and like we were doing like stuff like here and there back in 2017. We did this place called Wrestling Cemetery.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was really
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time we got anything. I think that was the
I
first time we
forgot
ever
about that.
investigated. Really,
Yeah.
like truly did an investigation.
That was crazy.
So Wrestling Cemetery here in Pittsburgh, there's like a local legend about this spirit called Walking Rosie, who
Okay.
can either appear as like a little girl or like a woman in a white dress. The first time we went, there's this whole entire thing about doing Ring Around the Rosie and you can summon her, whatever. I did that the second time I went, but that footage is lost. That part is literally gone. But we went there, nothing was really going on, and then we went into the mausoleum part of the cemetery, and immediately it smelled like death. And we were doing a spirit box session, and we were in contact with this person whose last name is Mayo or something like that. And there was like a little like crypt thing, and I was like, dude, that's literally what it said. And like we were speaking to this person on the spirit box. This is during the night, the daytime, and then we eventually came back at night, and it just seems like the whole vibe changed. And then you started getting pricks to the side of your stomach. You lift up your shirt, and all you saw was these like bubbles start to form.
Yeah.
Morgan, he like mumbled to himself for like he doesn't even know what he even said. He doesn't even remember.
The fuck?
He mumbled and went towards the front of the mausoleum. Now the mausoleum was like a rectangular prism. We're all the way at the back. He literally walks, mumbles, and goes to the front, and he doesn't remember that at all. That was also the first time Morgan and my mom both seen a shadow at the same time.
Oh
and
shit.
me and him were literally just at the spot where they saw the shadow.
Let's do this real quick.
And we like ran back up there. We were looking to see if there was, anybody that passed by that we didn't notice. Nobody. And then we exit out the mausoleum. Like we weren't even done with the night. I don't even know what time it was that night, but this is what really got us. We all heard, me, Mom, PJ, Morgan,
yeah.
we all heard this little girl's giggle.
Hey, no, it was a scream, wasn't it?
No, dude, it was a giggle, and we were all like, "Whoa!" Like we all jumped, but on the GoPro, it only came out as a very faint whistle. All it did was, and that was it. I literally had to go into the software at the time, try to enhance the volume just so our viewers can hear it. But since that point on, like we just knew like we got to do this. Like this is something that like we really kind of wanted to do. And then, like I said, of course, you know, that was 2017. So we did some investigations here and there. And then the Beller House last year, that's what really like kicked us to like really take this more seriously.
Yeah, that for sure did.
Definitely. That's a bucket list spot for me for sure. Like we're eventually gonna go there one day. Not exactly sure when, but it's going to happen. Like every friend that I've had go there or watched a video there, it's just nonstop craziness. It seems like.
Yeah, basically.
Man, the Beller House was nuts because even during the interview, the owner wasn't able to show up. It was her husband. And during the interview, we were actually hearing tappings happening. We were like, whoa. And like, I think you even asked him, I was like, did you hear it? He was like,
oh yeah, when we you put that in the intro. Yeah, that was like it was weird. It was completely silent, nothing was happening, and then the owner showed up.
Yeah, the owner's husband.
Yeah, he showed up, and in what was it, like 10, 15 minutes him being there, we heard knocking from the other room. I thought it was one of the other guys trying to get my attention.
No.
Nobody was in there.
No.
Everybody was in the kitchen. And I was just kind of like, do you guys see that? And the owner's husband, yeah, that happens all the time.
And there's even a time where we set up one of the dolls that like someone donated to the house. We set it up on the table. It was stable for like God knows how long.
The whole night.
No, not the whole night, but like just the moment that we had it, it was just standing there. Next thing you know,
it's a little better.
It falls by itself. And we're like, what? But here's the thing, it went like this, it went back a little bit, and then fell.
That's so weird.
We put the doll back up. We tried stepping around the table. Nothing. Like literally, this doll was not moving. So someone moved this doll by itself.
Yeah, like kind of like you're not supposed to touch it, poked it, and it fell off. It's like fuck.
I mean, we recently just had something like extremely similar to happen. If you have the Asher Walton house on Facebook, you'll see that they posted a video of a water bottle that we had sitting on a table because we just drank it, you know. And it was just sitting on the counter, and it just goes, whoop, just falls.
It almost looks like it like kind of like bobbles a little bit, and then it comes off the counter.
It's really weird.
How full was it?
It was empty.
Empty.
Mm.
I was hot and fucking stagnant in that bitch.
Yeah, and where the counter is and where that was sitting, there's no airflow directly onto that counter.
Okay.
So it wouldn't have been wind, and he told us that it had been sitting there for about an hour.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And we were in the room like next door to it. And we heard it, and we came in, and we didn't see the water bottle and even notice it because we left everything dark.
Yeah.
And we thought it was like one of the cabinets. So we checked all the cabinets. They were all closed, but we were like, the tapping of it sounded similar to what we had. And then we're sitting in there for like
I fucking
10 minutes. And Trevor like moved his foot and he kicked the water bottle, and he's like, there's a water bottle on the ground. I'm like,
that wasn't fucking there before.
I was like, why would there be a water bottle on the ground? Why would I put a water bottle on the ground? That makes no sense.
Right.
And then we just marked the time down what we thought it was, and like we got a text on the way home, and he goes, "Holy shit!"
Wow.
So it's like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Poltergeist activity is the coolest.
Definitely. But a doll moving? No, I might have left.
That's wild.
That might be the one time that I get.
I mean, me and Riley 100% did like see the Bell Witch's doll this weekend too.
Oh,
may not have touched it.
At the actual.
I may have held it.
I may have gave her a kiss.
Yeah, we may have kissed it.
Oh, Dude, I would love to go there. I watched
Definitely recommend it, man.
and
It is
It's hot in
fucking
there, though.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
saw the Spirit Stalkers with Bynum Investigations collab on that, and yeah, I even watched a Paranormal Quest collab.
Yeah.
But their video
Yeah.
before they did it, and
The place is really cool. We caught some really, really
Yeah.
sweet Estes method stuff, and like the S box that we had really caught a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's been working on the video tirelessly for the last couple days, and
Mhm.
the more I'm like going through all of the footage, you know how it is, like
The
so
more
much
you
more
see.
happened than what you actually remember.
bro,
Yeah,
what did
yeah.
I tell you the other day?
Every fucking time.
Bro, what?
Every time, man.
Okay, so oh my god, I'm the editor for the channel,
Okay.
and we were literally just talking about this. So I was talking about our final return to Dead Man's Hollow video, for
Okay.
which the YouTuber Snap Reactor, he reacted to that video just
Sick.
recently. But I was telling him, I was like, while I'm editing these videos, while we're there at the location, we feel like there's nothing going on, and like we're not getting much. But as soon as like we review the footage, there's like, holy crap, how did we miss this? Like we're actually getting
Yeah.
evidence. And
Mhm.
it's like, you don't realize things until after the fact.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds
so-
like you gotta start like reviewing footage while you're there.
See, we were
Yeah.
supposed to do that. We literally told ourselves before we started investigating that that's exactly what we were going to do.
No.
We were going to photo dump every hour onto our laptops and rewatch some stuff so we could kind of gauge the situation.
That's what I was
And,
trying
like,
to do with the Ross house.
and that's not what happened. We lost our goddamn minds.
It was hot.
And
It's so hot
literally,
in
we
that
were
bitch.
talking about this like the other day. We are like, man, that was kind of like a slow investigation. And
No, it
then
wasn't.
I literally been going through the footage the past 3 days, and
No,
I
it
go,
wasn't.
bro, this was crazy.
We were
And-
literally just so dehydrated and sweaty that all of us were mad at each other and didn't know anything was happening.
Dude, if you guys ever get to do the Ross house, definitely do it.
Ross, ROSS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in Bel Air, Ohio. Literally right around the corner from the Bel Air house.
Okay.
We did the Ross house and the Barn Furniture Store, which is right next door. We actually did that collaboration with Bynum Investigations.
Oh, sick.
And that place was so dry, and like our mouths were just so dry.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
literally kept having to rehydrate like every hour.
Yeah.
So you
understand.
saying what you said, immediately.
Yeah. At one point, like Riley and Jenna were outside and I was upstairs by myself doing TikTok live stuff, and I was like so hot and sweaty to the point to where I was like, I feel like I'm a puddle. I don't even care anymore. I'm just like melting through everything that's on here. And it was so clean and nice in there that I was like, fuck, I'm gonna just make it so stained and gross.
And we did the whole investigation barefoot.
Oh yeah.
What?
Barefoot we were monkeys.
What?
Because
Like,
we
what sort of
walked
weird
in there.
as
It was almost like a running joke. So we were on our way there and we go, do we take our shoes off? Like it's a mansion. It's a house. So like our like good friend now, homie Keith walks in and we're like doing the little bit of the tour after we signed the paperwork and stuff, and we're like, so do we take our shoes off? And he goes, what? No, you don't have to do that. And he was like, if you want to, I don't see why not. And I was like, okay, make yourselves at home, right? Like
And then literally we end the tour and me and Trevor's socks are off. Like
immediately.
and
Oh.
honestly, I'm so glad we did it that way because it literally made me 10 degrees colder.
It was great.
But that place is also like immaculately clean. So
Yeah, they do an amazing
totally
job
different
with
than
that
like
place.
being in an abandoned place and like taking your shoes off. We were probably gonna step on
know about
glass
that.
or
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was like laying face
glass.
down in the carpet because I was so hot at one point, and I was like, "This is like being at home. I could live in a haunted house like this."
Until you start like floating up the wall.
Basically, I mean, it was huge though. Like it had 8 rooms. I mean, technically, it's more than 8 rooms because closets are fucking
yes, thank you, Ghost Bros.
Ghost Bros.
yeah.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, these hats are sick. They're so good quality too.
Literally been wearing it every day since I got it.
Yeah, I did, and like even my daughter put it on, and she was like, "I love this hat." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, this hat's cool."
That's how you know you made a good product.
Hell yeah,
Yeah, they're solid hats too. So
hells yeah. So
They're
I mean,
selling-
like, out of all the investigations that you guys have done in the past and recently, what was your favorite one? Like, it could have been like, it didn't have to be like because
just
of
talking about
paranormal
this.
stuff.
That's
Just like
another
the
thing.
favorite trip because of something, you know, like what was something that stood out to you the most?
We were literally
You
just
first.
talking about
I love
me
that.
first.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go first if you're thinking about it. So, years ago, I really we were talking about this. We were like, what location? I think we had it phrased differently, but
No,
what,
this is for paranormal this time.
oh, is it paranormal?
Yeah, it's
okay.
paranormal.
I thought it was
Either.
it-
Like it can be like
doesn't
I
matter.
was
Just like a
this is
favorite
my
trip because of
favorite
a
one
moment.
because of.
well, why don't we do both? I guess.
Yeah, both
Alright,
is
yeah.
fine too.
Knock them both out.
I really would like to go. I really wish I could because I liked it so much. What was it? The LGAR nursing home. It was in-
LGAR nursing home, which is
What was that?
Ladies Grand Army of the Republic. I think that's what it stands
Sounds
for.
about right.
It was this nursing home here locally that we explored years
Oh
ago.
my god!
It was amazing.
some idiotic kids back in.
Yeah, we were definitely idiot kids back then, but
Yeah.
it was such a great place, and like we took like such a like really our first photography as a group was in that place, really,
Oh really?
pretty much, and then it got demolished, and since then we've been kind of like, man, that would have been great to do a paranormal investigation at, because it's like this
Yeah.
old
did say that.
nursing home, and it's a brick building, and we're like, damn.
Oh, there are definitely spirits up in there.
Yeah.
Probably still is. What is it now?
Say again.
What is
It's probably
what is
just
the
a
site
fucking
now?
field.
If they tore it down,
Oh,
Oh,
it's just a field.
It's going.
Oh,
We
dude,
actually
go
drove past
investigate it.
earlier today.
go investigate it. Honestly, they're
That
probably still there.
Investigate the grounds. I always wondered that.
wouldn't be a bad idea.
I always wondered that. But
'Cause,
also,
like, If
what
they're
about
if it
stone tape theory?
What's that?
So, when I
You brought
mentioned
it up.
something, but I can't really describe it.
I hate when the words don't come to right to mind when you want them, and you're like, "Fuck!"
Basically, like the fabrics of the building and everything else.
Yep.
Like how like limestone is a huge like conductor.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's kind of like
That.
the building was there for so long that it's basically part of the earth and part of the soil because it's made of rock. So like all of the like magnetic fields and stuff are going to run through the land and the building at the same time. They're not going to like stray away. So if there's energy that's bound to the building, when the building's gone, it's going to be bound to the land because the
It
building
basically
is bound to
confronts
the
itself on the building.
yes, we're on the same page here.
Exactly.
I'm totally with you because I like the way I look at it is like, okay, so the Battle of Gettysburg, right? Since we're like basically
Bam.
around the anniversary of when it ended and everything, there's buildings that are no longer there, right?
Right.
But people still see the soldiers
Yeah,
in
you
weird
Walking
spots.
in the
like,
buildings.
the
and
nave-
those are
you know.
residual hauntings.
yeah, exactly. So like if they were haunting the building, the most likely that they're still going to haunt the land as if the building was still there because they know no different.
Right.
okay,
Unless they're like a super intelligent haunting, I guess. Like some hauntings might have more intelligence to be able to like see things better than others, but
Right.
You gotta have the vision.
of course
The
it's all
Brett
theory.
Favre.
We don't know, right?
What is Grandma?
That's what
Lucky
makes it so
say?
fun.
We don't know shit. We don't know a goddamn fucking thing. I wish we did.
But with me, in terms of abandoned, my favorite place was this bowling alley that we did.
Oh, dude, it's right down the road from here.
That's right down the road from your house.
Bowling alley?
An abandoned bowling alley.
That's sick.
Sounds like
Abandoned bowling
fun.
alley that was used in the movie Kingpin, which also featured.
Oh shit!
We literally explored that place. It was abandoned in 2019, and honestly, I'm so pissed off at the amount of vandalism and destruction that has happened since the pandemic. And back in 2020, it was like You got your mom, you got your brother, your sister, your cousin, the mailman. Everybody wanted to go exploring. Everybody wanted to be an urban explorer.
There's nothing else to do.
Exactly. And they monsooned this place
Oh
to
no.
oblivion. I'm talking like the screens, like the bowling screens, that's all smashed. The wall, the ceiling is coming down.
Why? Why do people
People
do
are
that? It
so
makes no
destructive.
sense.
It's so much worse. Like even there's like the front desk where you like, you know, get your shoes and this and that. That's all graffitied over.
Of course
The
it is.
lockers where you store your bowling balls and your shoes and everything else, smash, holes all throughout. There's glass everywhere. And I saw a recent video of it, and honestly, I almost bawled my eyes out.
You have to show me this video.
I will. Like it is my favorite location that we've ever done because I always want to do a bowling alley. Really, the next thing that we got to do is like an actual abandoned hospital.
Yeah.
We're in Pittsburgh. We don't really have
We've
that.
only really done one, and that was Brownsville.
Right? Yeah, and that was collapsing on itself, and that's gone.
Yeah.
But that bowling alley was my favorite abandoned place. But in terms of haunted, I still don't know yet. It's
I don't either.
It could be the Ross house, only because like just so much activity happened, and it's like everybody basically got affected, no matter what. Everybody, and like me, I'm not sensitive to the paranormal. I'm not an empath or a psychic or any of that. But there's this one time, for an addition towards this conversation, because I'm rambling, of course. When Clayton and his crew came, I think they were like there for like 7 hours, and they didn't get anything apparently. And that was kind of the same for us, even. Like the first few hours, we didn't really. There was a couple things, but we didn't really get anything. And so throughout the night, there was like one part of the night, PJ was like, you know what, let's do a seance.
Hell yeah.
And we're in the first section of our investigation. And there's this like one part of the furniture store where it's just all like tables and stuff and chairs. And this is like all antiques. And so we're sitting there, we're doing a seance, and I forgot who said what, because I don't have the clip, Clayton does. But Clayton was like, yo, there's something behind you. And that was behind AJ, who was sitting at one of the chairs. And everybody kept hearing stuff. I didn't. I wasn't hearing anything. They were hearing like shuffling or footsteps or tappings or knockings or whatever
at the bottom of the stairs.
I didn't, and the REM pod was even going off on the stairs.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear anything, okay? I looked towards the corner of the table or wherever. I just couldn't.
Oh, shit.
I literally couldn't. Every time I would look in that direction, well, this way, I guess, because this is mirrored. For not the first time on camera, but in a first time in a long while, I started tearing up.
Damn.
And this is all filmed. I started tearing up, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what it is, but I can't look at this corner. And the effed up thing about that is that my mom and my aunt were both getting weird vibes with this corner in the furniture store. And it's known as the Bonnie and Clyde corner because there's like a little cutout of Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
And my aunt literally starts like feeling like she couldn't breathe. Like she felt like something was choking her.
What the hell?
In that same exact room, my mom basically got attacked and she couldn't breathe at all. And she literally had to come downstairs to find them who were investigating. And you literally had to extract my mom from the furniture store back into the Ross house. Like it was just crazy all night. Like after that point.
Yeah, I know that feeling because it happened to me when I was in Alaska investigating an old funeral home. It wasn't a funeral home anymore.
Yeah.
It was a different business, but I was investigating where the in,
Incinerator.
the incinerator. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where they threw the bodies into to cremate them. It also heated the whole town, by the way. It's fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah, they used dead bodies to heat the town.
That reminds me of old Sparky.
What town is that?
God, what is it? It was the Eagle Inn that was connected to this Palmer, Alaska. I had to
Palmer, Alaska.
Palmer, Alaska. I had to put the locations all together in my head. But yeah,
Look this place up.
We gotta look this place up.
dude, it's pretty
It's
crazy.
nasty.
So like
It's
I also
nasty.
stayed in the hotel called the Eagle Inn, which is in the basement. It was the old like town hall, basically. This hotel was like the center of the town, where you went to court and everything. If you got arrested, you went to where this hotel was, and then they brought you into the basement where the tunnels were, and then that's where they had all the cells
Yep.
for the jail. We're in this tunnel, and if you went all the way to the very end of the tunnel, you would have ended up where I was when I lost my breath. Basically, that's the best way I could explain it. I was just asking questions, and I just was like, I can't breathe. Like, I can't catch my breath. Like, I play hockey. I'm an athletic person. I shouldn't be losing my breath at all.
Shouldn't at all.
And I literally went outside, and it just lifted off of me.
That reminds me, when we did Wrestling Cemetery, when we were in the mausoleum, I felt like I was being choked.
Fuck
Like,
that.
being there. Like, we all felt like we weren't really welcomed just being in
Right.
the mausoleum. And that was actually, I think, the first time where I actually was tearing up, because I just felt like I was being choked. But also at the same time, I was toughing it out. Like, I was like, dude, I'm not leaving this building. Like, I will literally, I'm stronger than this, you know?
Yeah.
So,
And
do y'all believe in demons?
let me answer this real quick. I was not. I was with my dad and 3 family friends, actually,
Yes, sir.
that I have up there in Alaska.
What he's saying is he don't let me
Randy.
alone.
Yeah. Randy, his wife Bree, and their dad Roger.
Father Roger. Roger Father.
I have all those videos, but it's literally blackness because I didn't have any night vision camera with me. So it's a GoPro, and then it's just black.
This was before we had like really found our style of recording.
Yeah, this was before I had any idea of what I was doing at all.
Hey, man, you
Agreed.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys use for editing software? Like,
Honestly,
I'm
this
curious.
is going to sound so funny. We actually use Windows Movie Maker.
I mean, whatever works. We use CapCut, so I mean, like,
Okay.
it's just
We
as
pay
bad
for
if you want to
CapCut.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we pay for CapCut because we're pros at it.
Oh shit. But yeah, we use Windows Movie Maker, and I just recently, because I was using AVS Video Editor
Yeah,
for like when I need to like zoom in on something or add like images or something like that, or even like add like a clip over another clip with the audio still going. I realized that I can do the same exact thing in Windows Movie Maker. All I have to do is
Really?
take the video, extract the audio from the video, place it on the file, and then whatever clip I want, put it on that clip with the audio still running. Easy. And
That's
that just literally made so much time for me.
I bet.
One thing that we've started doing, it's kind of like that, like mastering our audio. We'll extract the audio from CapCut, and then we'll
Yeah.
throw it into Audacity and do everything that
And
we
then
do for our
super master
podcast
all of it.
audio, and then put it back onto the video, and it sounds so much better than just the straight audio.
You want to know something cool?
What's up?
Audacity was made in our city.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. I love Audacity. It's like such an easy program to learn, and then it can do
Dude.
so much. It's crazy.
It actually is like
Almost
becoming
torture,
one of the like easiest to use softwares for video editing, it seems, or at least beginner friendly.
Yeah, CapCut's definitely beginner friendly.
And heck, people use CapCut for TikToks.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, big time.
big time. But honestly, it works so much better than people really give it credit for. That's the crazy part.
Yeah,
Is you can do
eventually,
all the
eventually,
keyframing, all the the pushing in and the pushing out, like dynamic motion and everything. Like there's a lot of AI capabilities with it too. It's wild how much it's grown. I remember when it used to be bullshit and didn't work very well.
Also, to answer your question about if we believe in demons,
oh yeah.
Oh, you asked a question?
Y'all believe in Satan?
I don't necessarily believe in demons, but what I do believe is that if someone was angry or malicious in real life, we're gonna be like that during death.
We're teaching the young.
It's like
No,
and
exactly.
and finally I get to talk about this on live. This is what pisses me off is that, and yes, I get it. It's all for views. It's all for clickbait, whatever.
Twin
The
Paranormal.
whole using with using demons in the title and this and that. I understand. But also at the same time, not everything in the paranormal is demons.
No.
Like just because something is angry at you, just because something has malicious intent, doesn't mean that it's a demon.
And it might not also be with everybody either. You know, the same spirit might be rude towards you because he don't like the shirt you're wearing. I don't know.
Right.
You know, prejudice
Right.
was a real thing.
Don't like the
back
way
in
you
day.
talk. You're
Right,
don't like
right.
your
Way you talk.
smile.
Yeah,
Doesn't like your hair. I don't know.
Everything
There's a
in the
lot.
paranormal has anything to do with demons.
No,
Yeah.
I
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
on
what-
that
hard to say.
same wavelength. So my girlfriend actually, she put this very good terms. Demons could be real, but it's extremely rare for it to actually be like this long living entity that probably has
Yeah.
legends about it because people have experienced it for so long, right? And it's probably not going to enunciate itself as a demon to you or do anything to make you think that a demon is there. It's going to trick you until it gets you to do exactly what it wants, and then it's gonna
Exactly. And wasn't it your podcast? I think was Spirit Stalkers. I'm not sure. Where you were talking about like the electromagnetic.
Oh, the like scratches and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll say it again too. Like, so if a spirit wants to touch you and it wants to show you that it touched you, and it doesn't know that you're going to feel it, but it can show you through physical, it might touch you. And then because if spirits are energy, that's literally how paranormal investigators mark if a ghost is around. If that energy is so intense when it's released, it's going to leave like a burn mark on you. It's just like if you get burnt from an outlet or like put your hand over a flame. Like those are both intense energy releases. It may be a fire, yes, but it's still an energy release. So like it's going to like burn you or leave a scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very good point. Yeah,
thank you.
I never thought of it that way.
And when I heard that, I was like, wow, that is a good point.
Right. It might, like, you can't just say, I got scratched. It's 3 scratches. That's a demon. Like, no, what if it was just a little kid going, I need you to know I'm here. And then boom.
Yeah.
3 taps. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Or the 3 like a marking of a trilogy, I think is what they call it. Or
Trinity.
The Trinidad.
Yeah.
Trinidad James.
I mean, everyone's, open to their own interpretation of demons and things. I'm not going to take that away from anyone, but me personally, I'm with you. I don't really think demons are real. And if they are, it's extremely, extremely rare. And it's more or less not actually a demon. It's some type of other entity that we don't know about, like Bigfoot.
That segues. Do y'all believe in y'all believe in cryptics and all the alien bullshit?
Okay.
We can dissect this. All
I
right, y'all
have a-
believe in
I-
like Bigfoot and the cryptics, and then we'll go on to the next one after
Yeah,
this.
I really don't.
I
Ooh,
don't,
yes,
but I have a story.
Ooh,
We like
This
stories.
happened last year. This happened last year. I was with a group of former friends, and there's this place in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, where there's this like huge white cross, and supposedly that area is haunted. I don't know. I don't know any of the history about it, but we're up there and everything else, and there was nobody else up on this hill besides us.
yeah.
And we go back on the path going down the hill. This is like semi-wooded, semi-not at the same time. And they're looking at they're talking like TikToks and stuff. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, are
I
you
ain't with it.
talking about like Wendigos or something? And they fucking flipped on me for like, dude, you can't say that.
Say that.
And literally few seconds later, we hear knocking up at the cross. It was like something like that. And we look and we're like, bro, there's no one there. And everybody's just freaking out. And I'm just kind of like, I'm not necessarily freaking out, but I'm trying to like, yo, like, guys, calm down. Like, you guys are freaking me out. By
Yeah,
you
the
guys
heightened,
freaking out.
the heightened bullshit's making me heightened.
Exactly. And I'm like, Vo, there's no one up there. We were just there. But after I said the word, some like stuff is happening.
That's a good point. See that comment. Who was
Spirits
that?
or entities that
Those
mock the
dweebs.
Trinity, they could feed off of fear to gain more energy, maybe? That's a good point.
Those dweebs.
Yeah,
That's
those
a good point.
dweebs. Creepy Confidential.
Noel's the shit.
Noelle's awesome. If you never listened to her podcast, definitely check it out.
Ooh.
It definitely makes sense, though.
That makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
So, do you think that the Catholic Church is full of bullshit?
Whoa, that's God damn.
That is so aggressive.
You don't need to come at it like that.
I don't know what the fuck to say about that. I don't know if it's a good question.
Okay, I got a better one.
Have
you
Wait,
ever
I will
thought?
answer it though.
You're gonna
Oh,
answer?
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I do look at Christianity as a cult.
It is a cult.
Yeah.
All
Honestly.
religion is a cult. Any mass group following of people is a cult. Literally,
I'm
the
just saying,
definition.
like, when there's pastors that make $1 million salaries and have private jets and they're untaxable,
Yeah.
and then when you ask them why, because God chose them to be that, and
Yeah.
then it starts to make me wonder, like, when did religion become a business? Like, I'm sorry, when did it? Like, I'm sure at some point it was meaning well, but now there's a lot of business involved in it.
It's
And I
funny.
hate to think that.
It's funny because nowadays there's such a high percentage of people that are atheists or don't believe in God.
Yeah.
It's such a high number.
The
And
fucked up part is I do believe in God too. I do believe that there's a higher power that started everything, but the fact that people are like so quick to think that like our every day is to be like so manipulated is like no.
I'm such a foil capper that I believe it was
the
something
question that
way
I
larger than.
had was there's always a beginning to something. There's always a start to something.
Has to be. Chicken and eggs.
Who created God? What was before God? What is beyond God?
Other God. God 3.
Said the
You got God 1, God 2, God 3.
It's the Anunnaki. Do you know about the Anunnaki?
No.
They're alien gods.
It's basically like this theory that aliens came to Earth, and well, it was like a certain point of like Neanderthal and caveman split that these aliens came to Earth and they taught the species of human how to farm, do political things and
They
build.
basically engineered them to be slaves for them, is what it really what it boiled down to. And then they were so many of the slaves that they revolted at one point, but they still saw them as greater beings. And this is why the technology boom happened so quickly, is what they say. How like these like pyramids and other things were built. Oops, I just smacked the shit out of my mic.
Backhanded the microphone.
The thing
Fuck
is though,
that shit.
that if aliens really wanted to come here to Earth, they would have to have the technology to go through space to break through all that time. And then once they get here, what do you think they're gonna think?
Right.
Like, are they gonna think that we as a species, and including the animals here on Earth, obviously you got the good people, but these are actual freaking animals.
Yeah.
They would probably think that we're barbaric.
We are as fuck.
We're
We're super barbaric. What do you
people
mean?
don't
War
give us
is
enough credit for how destructive and malicious and violent
Whoa.
humans are.
What is it good for? Absolutely everything. Like literally everything.
It's literally how humans have solved problems for thousands and thousands, if not
When
millions.
does our economy make the most money? Wartime. It's fucking stupid.
But the thing is about that is that if they have the technology to come here, why? What do they want?
Resources. That would be my biggest
But
guess.
what necessarily resource though? Wood?
Right.
Water.
Almost, you could probably find every resource you were looking for somewhere in space.
Exactly.
Probably.
Exactly. That's my point. Because there's water on other planets.
Yeah, there's
Maybe not all.
There's
ours, but
there's elements we've never even discovered, I'm sure.
Exactly.
It isn't like we can go to the freaking sun and like grab a sample and study it. Like,
all right, y'all seen Halo or played the Halos?
That's Morgan.
At one point, I have.
Yeah, that's the scenario that I
It was with Morgan.
I picture a scenario where like one day it's just gonna be like this like crazy species is just gonna invade us and it's gonna be a total war, and then we're gonna have to leave planet
Independence Day,
basically. Maybe, who knows? I hope so. I hope the zombie apocalypse happens too, though. God damn, I smacked the shit out of it.
You know that there's an actual like protocol or something just in case that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's also a person.
That's like an actual thing.
There's also a person in charge of like being the person to speak to aliens first. I forget what it is.
Yeah, there's a designation for it, and it's fucking amazing.
And they have like a succession line too.
I wish.
It's like,
can I please be him? I want to be him. Come talk to me. Because I'll be like, bro, dap me up. First things first. Whatever tentacle, arm, hand thing you got, dap me up.
Like 3 fingers.
Oh no, what happens in what was it? One of the Scream movies. Where like,
oh no, the scary movie.
Scary movie where they pee out of their finger.
Yeah, where you just
yeah.
We say hello by kicking you in the balls.
Yeah.
Say goodbye. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, what a great scene that was.
The movies are fucking amazing. I love it. I fucking love it. Okay. So, with all that being said, with all the disclosure and everything that's been happening recently, do you guys believe that aliens may have crash landed here on Earth before, or that they are monitoring us, or anything close to what we believe is actually happening? Apparently, I have fruit flies in my house.
Damn, we go from abandoned to paranormal to alien.
Yeah,
bro, we jump heavy and hard over here.
Oh,
Plus,
shit.
I had been smacking the dab pen way too hard before this.
I don't know.
I've never really given it any thought, to be honest.
Either.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, did you guys see the video of the Las Vegas alien? Where homies were hiding between the tractors and they crash landed after the meteor fell out of the sky.
With his in Fallout.
What's up, Devil's Hour? If you didn't know, Devil's Hour will be live with us on Saturday at 8 p.m. So make sure to come back here on Saturday.
We had his beautiful fiance on our show
One thing that I
previously too.
did pay attention to was the Phoenix Lights.
What the fuck are you showing?
Oh, Phoenix Lights is sick.
I think
Such
did
a
we do
cool
an episode
story.
on the Phoenix Lights?
Yeah, we did.
That's
Good
like
episode.
one of the main things that I focused on, like back then when like that documentary came out, and the
It's
whole
so
entire
crazy.
Art Bell Area 51 frantic caller thing from back in the day,
Yeah.
where the person who called ended up calling back to the show like years later, saying that oh yeah, I was faking it, it was a hoax, but also at
But
the
it was
same
not.
time, was he just told to say that or what? You know.
So what's super funny about that is actually there's two things. I'll say the first thing was me and Riley live super close to where in a recent episode of Unexplained
Mysteries.
Unexplained
Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries. There were lights over Grand Haven here in Michigan, and multiple counties saw it. The radar person here saw it, and he basically tracked it all the way down the
Chicago,
coastline
basically.
to Chicago. Yeah, and a ton of people called in, and there's a ton of evidence of people seeing these like unexplained lights like zipping around over the coastline here, and
Really?
it was basically the same thing as like those, like, you know, the Phoenix Lights is what almost, but I wouldn't say it was that same scale. It was a lot smaller what they saw here, but it was super interesting because me and Riley have also seen some fucking crazy shit on the coastline here while me and him were together, to where I think we were 100%.
We saw something very similar. We saw a triangular shaped craft, and it was like
Yeah.
literally above us, and a light came through the trees and like illuminated Trevor. I was sitting right next to him when it happened. I said,
It wanted to abduct me.
"Bro, you're literally like lit up right now." And he's
It
like,
was
"I'm
super
getting lit."
weird.
I'm
And
like,
we were
"No."
like, if it was a helicopter, you would hear the rotor wash.
Yeah,
No sound whatsoever.
it was completely silent.
And then all of a sudden, as soon as we saw the light and it was there, it was like bam, it was gone. The light was gone. Like me and him both were kind of just like, the fuck just happened?
Drone with the
Oh,
spotlight.
what does that remind me of? That reminds me of something.
And I also remember it being one of those dead silent type moments to where like
Yeah, where
literally like
the
a bug doesn't even make a
whole
noise.
bayou just got quiet.
Yeah, like where we were is literally on top of a hill overlooking a bayou because my parents live on the water, and we were just sitting back on the like hill edge, chilling in the little chill spot that we had there, and it literally went from the woods being alive and the water being alive to completely nothing.
Do you know what
It's
they
almost
say?
like your like fucking warp engine decided to like stop time everywhere around everything but you. It was crazy.
It's like a weird phenomenon of like dead silence where everything just goes.
Have you ever seen a blackbird plane?
Well, wait,
fly
before
over?
you get on to that, they say the reason the woods and like the reason nature goes quiet is because there's a predator lurking. You know, it's
That makes sense.
all know in hunting. Anytime,
Nope is
anytime
right.
nature,
Oh
you
yeah,
crickets and everything go silent, it's because there's a predator.
I didn't know about this.
You didn't know that?
No.
yeah.
Oh,
They do the same, like all the animals do the same thing in like the Amazon. Like if a tiger comes through, they'll all just be quiet until it gets to a point where the woods need to be alerted that you need to get out. Because like they want to take every second they have to get every little bit of water or whatever they're eating until they finally just like bolt it. Because I mean, it's survival for them, right? Like they're about to burn off everything they just took in. You might as well get every last bite that you can before it's too late.
It's spooky. Like that sounds terrifying to me.
Dude, I can't even imagine being in the Amazon or some shit and it's loud as hell and then everything just goes quiet.
Yeah, that means it's
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Have you ever
I
had
mean,
like
dude,
that phenomenon like investigating at all?
I can't say that we have.
No, but it's funny because the owner of the Ross house was telling us about because
Lake Michigan and the rivers are spooky. I'm just gonna say that much.
the Ross house is right.
Well, there's a highway.
There's a highway there, and you hear the cars all throughout. and she was saying about like there's moments where it's just silent, where you hear nothing around you. Not that that has any relation, but it just triggered that memory. Sorry.
Yeah. Like I believe it's like a crazy phenomenon that happens where everything just kind of like freezes because of some type of energy shift or something. Like makes sense if there was aliens, everything would go quiet. Like because obviously they're probably using an insane amount of energy.
Yeah.
What's like one of the craziest like captures you have? Is it like a voice, or do you catch a shadow figure, or maybe a photo that's just like we can't explain this?
I posted this on Twitter just the other day.
Oh shit!
We've never once yet captured an EVP.
We only have like 3 or
Really?
4.
We've never captured an EVP, and this really makes me wonder. And I'm literally on research for what is the best EVP recorder that we can have, affordable, or $3,000-$4,000 like the Panasonic DR60.
No.
No,
Yeah, no.
not that we're getting that.
I seen them on eBay
So
for
expensive.
$2,600. It's like, get out of here. That's for something that's like
No.
40 years old, bro.
I know
No
Spirit
thanks.
Stalkers, they use the Sony ICD ST25 or the Sony Saint. And
Yeah.
from what I've seen, like that definitely does produce some good ass results. But it's so funny because I bought a similar Sony recorder, possibly within like the same like year era, whatever. So far, nothing.
See, the one we have is a Sony BI10 or something like that. And we've caught a couple voices on it. And then we have another Sony one. It's just like if you type in Sony recorder, it's probably the first one that shows up. Honestly, I don't even know what it's called.
I bought mine at Walmart.
But then we also have
I can get the recorder.
literally high-tech studio mics, like recorders.
Yeah.
We've never caught anything on those.
That's up to you. You want to go get it? Go get it.
But
We've
got
also never caught anything on our REM pod.
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
REM pod has never gone off.
That is great.
If you do catch something on your REM pod, it's kind of scary because you never get anything on the REM pod, and then you go to a location like the Ross house we were just talking about when the REM pod was going off, and apparently at the Bel Air house, it did go off, but you guys didn't really realize, so you were looking over footage.
No, it went off at the very end of the night when we said goodbye,
The REM
and
pod.
we weren't filming. Yeah,
Yeah,
we weren't
Or-
even filming.
Yeah, when the REM pod goes off, that's when
Wait,
that's when
no,
shit's real.
no.
What?
The most compelling thing that we've ever gotten that at least I can think of right off the bat. So
Sorry.
we're in the attic of the Bel Air house, and my uncle, he's doing like a little solo in the attic for like a split second because I had to run downstairs to get something. And I don't think he knew, but the GoPro was filming him. And he was doing a spirit box session. And he like
You look like a burn victim.
he moved his foot and stomped on the ground, and he was like, huh? Acting like he didn't know that he just did what he did, despite the fact that he possibly has ADHD, whatever. He did that, and he was like, Devon? Like, no, it's not me. I'm downstairs.
What, trying to like fake content? Is it?
Not saying that, who knows? I don't know. And literally, I came upstairs, and he was like, dude, there was a thump. There was a voice on the spirit box that literally came in and said, I didn't do it.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's
wow.
wild. That's wild.
That was insane capture to just hear that. Whether, I mean, it's not technically EVP. I don't know what you call.
I consider it EVP. It's the same thing as like a voice.
It's all the same, yeah.
And that was a definite class A. F that,
Yeah.
class S.
As class
That was insane. But here's one of the recorders that we have right here.
Yeah, that looks just like the one I have. It might even be the same one.
This is the ICD B16.
Okay, I have the B10.
And this one right here, now this recorder, while we were at the Beller House and even Snyder Cemetery recently, while we've been investigating, and I've done like test recordings on this device, there's sometimes where there's just these weird audio interferences.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like this
have
device is
that.
broken. It's just like while we're investigating, just something happens to just like just these weird audio interferences. This one is the ICD BX700. That's what this one is. And we were using this one first before eventually getting this one. But these are the two main voice recorders that we use when we investigate. But just so far, besides the random audio interferences, we haven't captured anything yet.
Yeah.
Do you have pretty good luck with the spirit boxes?
It depends on the location.
It definitely does depend on the location. Most of the time, yes, but there's sometimes where like it's dead silent, where we get nothing.
What about like the Estes method? Have you tried that?
The sweaty
Okay.
pit method. You gotta talk
Sweaty
about
pit
that.
method.
That's what you call it. I call it
It's the sweaty pit method.
I like it.
call it the slippery pit method. Okay, so I'm sitting here in my bedroom and I'm like, you know what? Let me do something that's like a signature for us. And we tested it out at Snyder Cemetery, which is actually our first hour-long video in a while.
Hell yeah.
And it's our most recent investigation before the Ross House stuff. And I decided, why not use the aux cords in the splitter, the headphone splitter, connect two spirit boxes together. One sweeping forward, one sweeping backwards. Put them on the same station and see what happens.
Oh,
Now
That's interesting as shit.
that's really cool.
what I will say though is that I want to do it with two PSP7s. I did it with the PSP7 and the S box.
Yeah.
And this is going to be controversial as hell because I've seen one live stream. I think it was on Ghost Bros, maybe, or it was either on Ghost Bros or Tommy Tombstone, where
Oh, Tommy, next week's guest.
cool dude, where they were talking about how like the S box isn't really all that good to them and they don't really like it. No, I think it was Tommy. But what was weird was that while doing that method, I was getting more responses off of the S box than the PSP7.
Yeah.
And like these were like voices being clear, but it was so weird because we started, I think, at like 3:00 in the morning or before that at Snyder, did the regular spirit box, did a regular SS method, wasn't really getting anything, especially the open spirit box session, no Estes, we weren't getting anything. Then we did the dual spirit box method, left and right.
Yeah, it was telling us.
Really?
It said to go uphill, and it said like southwest, and southwest was uphill.
No,
shit.
no, wrong location.
Oh, that's Plymouth Road. I'm
Yep,
thinking of.
wrong
Okay.
location.
No, that happened.
We were getting death threats from the spirit box,
What?
and it was like, it was so weird. Like we were getting like we were like be killed. Like there was a voice that said be killed, and there was like Snyder, like I heard Snyder off of the spirit boxes, and there was just like all these compelling responses that I was hearing, and I was like, what is going on?
Right.
I was like, did we
One
like
thing-
somehow unlock something? Like
One thing with the S-Box I don't think a lot of people actually know about is you can put a memory card in this thing and press record and literally record everything that's on
It's
there.
the best.
And so I'm doing that right now for our Asher Walton video. And during the Estes method, it literally changed like the video completely, honestly, because it's silent. And then as soon as the voice happens and Trevor or I say what we hear, you get to hear it through the S-Box too. And it just validates it even more.
You get to hear your own voice?
Yeah, so you play
get
the
to hear
audio
the
over each
S-Box
other.
too.
So like it's playing the video audio, right? And you can't hear the S box.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the voice comes in, you have to time the audio. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but
It really is though.
it takes some time to learn how to do that stuff. But you can see the voice on the like actual wavelengths as well. So you can see the change, and then you just kind of cut that out and then remove the filler effect. And it's like it changes the whole Estes method, honestly.
That's the thing with us. We were doing the Estes methods at the Ross house in the furniture store, and we were hooking the spirit box to an audio recorder. Same thing how Paranormal Quest does it. And one fatal mistake, whether it's my laziness or not,
Probably your laziness.
I don't think it really is. What I should have told everybody to do, because we were literally kind of in a rush. Because I wanted everybody to start investigating at around like 7.
Yeah.
We ended up investigating until 9 because we were sitting in like a very like long interview. But I should have told everybody. I was like, make sure like in the filming, say like what recording that you're starting on the recorder, so I can piece the spirit box recordings with the recording, with you know what I mean, just so I can be able to sync everything up. It's so hard to do that with me not knowing where.
Yeah. The only reason I was able to sync up these audios is because Trevor had started the method and I was recording, and on the recording, I reach in and turn the saving device on. So I was like, okay, boom, I hear the click. I grabbed the first file and just drug it. And I was like, it has to be lined up. There's no way it's not lined up right now. Right. I literally hear the click and then the spirit box session starts.
Yeah. I'm honestly upset with my own self about that.
Yeah, well, we know for next time though.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, that's why we love doing this too, like talking to everyone.
We learn something new every time.
We learn so much, and then we also get to like, hey, we found this has been working for us, like you should give it a shot.
Right.
Because like we're really big on hard files of everything. So we want hard files of the audio, we want hard files of the video, we want hard files of the picture, and then we can just like match everything up.
Right.
Like I'm sure you guys probably do multiple camera angles too. So like you gotta line everything up, every little bit of audio, and when it's so freaking nitpicky, but
that is the new thing going into this whole entire Ross House video, is that I mean, yeah, we kind of did with the Bel Air house, but this time, like this is more like, okay, we know what we've done in the past. Now it's like we have a whole brand new editing style. Everything's all new. We got camera angles. Like we literally had people in different rooms all around the property. So literally it's like we synced up the time. I literally asked everybody to send me their footage, tell me what time that footage was filmed. So I can do like, okay, this is filmed at 9/11, random time. Don't ask. Don't ask.
It's almost like 9/11 right now too.
This is filmed. Oh, it's 9/13. This is filmed here. This is filmed there. So I can literally piece and just go back to each footage and put it all in semi-chronological order. And that's like what's brand new for our editing, as well as while we were doing the interviews.
I'm gonna go hit the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right. While we were doing the interviews, I literally had one camera on who we were interviewing, and then one camera on me, and I was just going back and forth between the camera footages. And that's something that we've never done before, but now it's like, this is what I want to do.
Once you see it visually, it's like, oh, why were we not doing this? It's so much better.
Exactly.
Like it keeps your eyes so much more like engaged on the video when it's just cut and cut.
Exactly.
I really do, though.
That's why. This is why I love Spirit Stalkers videos. Their videos are so great. And
they are. Shout out Jake and Noah.
The first video I saw of them was Fairfield Infirmary. And this is like before I even knew who they even were. And like this is like when I saw that video, I was like, whoa, Steve from Haunted Nights. And like I recognized like all these people that I knew of. But when I was watching that video, I was like, cut. And I will admit, some of their cuts are super freaking quick. And I'm like, maybe that wasn't necessarily needed. But also at the same time, it's so damn good. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I always give praise to them. And I'm like, dude, like, this is great. And I even took inspiration from that in my recent ghost hunting videos. And I'm like, all right, this is what I have to do is cut out all the filler and let's like get pretty much straight to the point, you know? And
That's what we had a problem with. We were like, that was really funny, but it had nothing to fucking do with anything.
Exactly.
And we're probably the only ones that don't think it's funny. So it's like,
but it's like watching other people's footages makes you really look back at your own footage, and you're like, okay, this is what we need to do more of. This is what we need to do less of. Maybe we have to do this, do that.
I see everyone starting to copy Project Fear really soon here because their videos are like crazy good, man. Like it's crazy. Obviously, like Dakota knows what he's doing, but like the way they investigate, like it's like almost like cutting edge. I feel like it's weird to say that, but it like they have some cutting edge stuff.
The challenging and everything is like I like that.
I mean, that's pretty much the same thing that Spirit Stalkers do, though.
Yep.
But Spirit Stalkers at least do their own spin on it.
Right.
Right. And
they have their own thing.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to find their like little thing that they do that separates them and makes their channel
right.
You know,
I mean, they both are doing the whole like filming yourself, filming you type of thing, like at the very end of their videos. But even then, it's like they have their own thing going on. That's what makes them unique from everybody else, and that's what I love.
That's what me and Trevor had a big problem with when we were first starting filming. We thought it was like taboo to have someone else in the video filming the video like from another angle. We thought that was taboo to have like multiple cameras in a frame. It was like, oh yeah, who wants to watch someone hold the camera? But then you see literally Project Fear's got 200,000 subs and they're doing it the entire episode. So
every single person has a camera. Every single person. That's also what I like. And that's why I'm like, when we were at the Bel Air house, I was so pissed off with everybody because I was like, I'm like, you guys need to film. Like everybody should be filming because you don't know what could happen. We could miss something.
No, yeah.
I'm like, you guys need to film like 24/7.
Yeah, we always say film everything and then delete it later.
Yeah, that was like what place were we at? At TNT Factory. We had to take down that video or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have been filming the whole time and
are we talking about this on live?
What?
You want to talk about this on live?
Are we allowed to? What?
I don't know.
Basically, we should have been filming the whole time at this location, but we're going down this quad trail, and my one car, we were taking down the quad trail. We started getting stuck, and unfortunately, we weren't filming, but I ended up ripping the front bumper off.
Oh no!
Bad.
Okay.
And it would have been amazing to watch because I'm just sitting there in the driver's seat. We would throw the car in reverse, and I see the front bumper go. Like, where's my bumper going?
It's gone. That's amazing. I love that though. See, those are the stories too that I live for. Where it's like, I mean, me and Riley, like 100%, we had Poopgate 2023 happen when we went to the Asher Walton house. I swear to God, somebody wanted somebody to shit their pants over that weekend.
What the fuck?
We went to 3 places and it either didn't have a bathroom or it was flooded.
Yeah, it was like somebody decided to stuff it with toilet paper, and then it was raunchy.
So funny. We had like 3 hours in between of like us getting there and when we could like actually check in, and we couldn't.
I don't think Indiana was using bathrooms.
Atlanta, Indiana is so tiny. They don't have a gas station. They don't have nothing in that town. So the closest gas station was like literally a 7-minute drive. So we drove all the way there, and there was no pooping happening there.
Oh, jeez.
They didn't believe in roadside bathrooms. Or nothing. All they believed in was roadside motels. That was it.
That's true. No, that's true.
So, any more paranormal questions?
Yeah. So, what do you have coming up that you're looking forward to? If you want to talk about it, I know some people like to keep that stuff a secret.
Look at you looking at me. Okay, so once everything gets finalized, because I guess I'll say this on live. So Bynum Investigations have been having issues with their point of view of the Ross House video that we filmed.
Yeah.
And every time they tried uploading to YouTube, it's just not uploading for some reason. And even while we were filming, we all thought like something didn't want us to film, something didn't want us to be there, and something was preventing us. My mom was trying to film on her phone, and her storage is completely fine. Everything's all
Right.
great. But she would press record. And this even happened during the interview. Like when you look at my footage during the first interview that we had, you can even see like the camera is not going, it's not filming, it's not recording. It's just like something
weird.
didn't want to be filmed, and it was weird. And Clayton and Vim are having like the same exact problem. They're thinking that same exact thing, that like someone doesn't want this footage to be uploaded, like this and that. And they just like, we just had to keep delaying the upload week by week. It was supposed to be uploaded, I think, June 18th, maybe. It's like we just kept having to delay because everybody's just been having problems with the footage.
Interesting.
But that's our next paranormal video coming out. But in terms of like our next investigation, between now and November, we don't know exactly.
Yeah.
We're
That's
still
where
trying to
we're at right now. Like I'll even tell everyone like what I was telling you through Twitter DMs is like I've been emailing local places to try to get in there.
Hardcore.
So if they end up watching this, we want to investigate your
Please.
location with all of our heart.
All right. Speaking of locations, what would your guys' favorite location be?
Hold on.
Oh shit. I'm going too fast.
But what I will announce in November, Among the Unknown, we will be investigating the haunted Hinsdale House.
Oh shit.
Wood Sanitarium.
Nice.
That's
And no, I'll save that.
yeah, those
Save a
are
little
two
bit.
like dream locations for sure. For sure. So speaking of those two dream locations, what I think this is what Trevor was trying to ask because he already asked
Yeah,
the other
so-
question earlier.
This is
What
I
is
should ask.
your dream location? So mine is Poveglia Island. His is a
Chernobyl.
touchy subject.
I want to either go to Auschwitz or Chernobyl because
Because
they Auschwitz.
Chernobyl, definitely. But my dream location to investigate is honestly, the Conjuring House is up there. The Enfield Poltergeist House in England or UK, whatever, that's up there. Waverly Hill Sanatorium, that's up there.
That would be sick.
It's between them.
Right.
We are hoping, not confirming, but I will announce this. We are hoping to investigate Gettysburg next year.
Hell yeah.
Gosh, we need to add that to our upcoming ideas. I think what me and him are going to do is we're going to start literally a project board and we're literally going to go, this
Yeah.
is where we're going, this is where we're going, this is where we're going.
Save your money.
One place that I do want to investigate is the old Harriman Hospital in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I've heard
well,
about
you
that
should.
place.
What was that one? Oh, you're not gonna remember, but
The
I
one with
really wish you would.
Sparestalkers and Paranormal Quest?
No, there was one at the picture. It had this really long wall. It was almost like a corridor, just on the outside. Like you coming in the front entrance, and the way you were looking at it on the right, there was a really long.
I mean, I know I showed you Fairfield County Infirmary in Madison.
Maybe
City.
it was Fairfield. I'm thinking of.
Maybe
That's what it was.
But that hospital is something that I desperately really want to investigate.
Hospitals are fun.
But do you have a dream location do you want to investigate?
Some kind of hospital or sanatorium. I really don't have any like
Eloise.
specific. There's just
I'm honestly
something spooky, scary.
both him and Morgan of our
Spooky
crew.
scary.
I'm kind of teaching them more the ropes of everything paranormal and like what locations are what. Everybody kind of understands the equipment at least, but like
Right.
no one's really into this deeply as I am. In terms of like, I know what this location is, I know what that location is, I know who this person, this and that, you know. So I'm kind of like getting them into it.
Right.
I totally understand that. Like, I have literally been a paranormal enthusiast since I was a child, and I have all of these places engraved in my brain. And it's just like from years of, watching Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, any other show, Paranormal Files, like that was. What was
I had
it?
sex with a ghost
No,
once.
what was it? Paranormal Files is great, but gosh, Paranormal State. I don't know if you remember that
State,
show.
yeah.
That show is crazy.
Yep.
Destination Fear.
That was started here. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Damn, Paranormal State. I missed that show.
That was a great show. I don't even remember what that guy's name was, but that show was crazy. And they had like a Chip Coffee on there.
Yep.
Chip Coffee.
Who I think is like one of the most like legit psychics there is.
What's your? This is probably gonna be controversial, but you already asked us about the whole Catholic.
I love controversial shit.
What's your opinion on let's see, Patty Negri?
Ooh, that's
is she the medium?
I really, the median. She's about to be on Ghost Adventures, the new episode tonight, I believe. I want to believe that she is a real psychic. I really do, but she is also involved in a lot of TV stuff, so I think she's also open to being influenced by money.
Okay, so my take on that is definitely like you can if you look at it from a standpoint of like if you're in a crowd of people and you're like somebody's father just died, you can deduct just by like reasonable doubt and going through like questions that are very generalized to, how do I want to say it, aimed to crowds of people to narrow down certain people.
Dude, this reminds me of the South Park episode.
It basically is. And like because it's true, because it's 100% like a fact, definitely, that like it's realistic that some people may actually be in tune with the spiritual side and may not be liars about it, but some of the people are definitely fucking completely crazy and fucking like manipulative as shit and make good money off of it. So it's like, to me, if you can prove it by like, I'll go somewhere with you where we've never been, you'd spit off some history that there's no way you know it.
Right.
And it's correct and it's like accurate as fuck. Yeah, I believe you. But other than that, I'm like, I don't want to be mean about it, but like it's just so hard to say yeah.
I would honestly love to investigate more with psychic mediums and like
Right.
Just see.
Because I'm not saying they're not real. I'm not saying that at all.
We did get to investigate with a psychic medium once. I forget what show he was on, but he was on the Travel Channel. And he investigated us. He was with Ghost Hunts USA.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
he basically said at the beginning that he wasn't going to fully open up during that night because he did the prior night and it was just way too exhausting for him. Like he couldn't even make it through the whole night. Which makes sense because if you're allowing other energies to affect you, like who knows what could happen.
Plus, that's a lot of energy drainage.
And there was fucking 300 people.
Yeah, and he did open up a little bit about some stuff, but at the same time, it's like, come on, you're telling me all the history of this beforehand, so like you already know everything about this place. Like, I don't know how much I believe it tonight. You know, if I was bringing in someone that was completely blind to the location, and like maybe he was blindfolded there, and then during the investigation they're still blindfolded and they say something related to the place, then I'm gonna be like, okay, that's little different,
right?
Yeah, it's
But I
hard
think
to
we all
say.
I think we all have the capabilities to be empathic. You just have to really open yourself up and allow the spirits to use you as a conduit to create their
Yeah,
energy.
that's probably the best way to
What
put
my
it.
mom believes about me.
Is you're
It's
just a
totally
lightning
possible,
rod.
man. You totally could be way like I think Trevor's way more empathic than he leads himself on.
Aha!
Especially after what happened. Especially what happened at Asher Walton.
The Asha. Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Not going to dive in too many details of that because you'll see it when we release the video. But
they
like,
wanted to talk
things were
to me.
happening to where it was only Trevor basically that they wanted to talk to. It was on our TikTok live too. Like they barely wanted to talk to me at one point in the night, and then they
But
only
it
wanted
sounded like
to
a
talk for 3 minutes.
goddamn like shitstorm of people yelling at me all night.
I believe that, and this is based off of what I said earlier in the stream about how like there's times where like we explore something and he's like, yeah, I'm getting a weird vibe about this place, and then something happens immediately. I believe that for some fucking reason he has some sort of gift
somehow.
But
There's even times where we go to locations and we're doing like the spirit walks, and I'll be the one with the headphones in. I won't hear it. And
you
it'll
won't
be
hear
nothing.
a thing off of the Estes method.
Yep.
But then like just recently you started hearing like a lot.
That's when we started using the sweaty pit method.
Sweaty pits.
What do you call it? The slimy.
The slippery pit. Okay, so I call it the slippery pit method because it was thought of in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but it was performed in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. So I combined the two names and formed Slippery Pits.
Okay,
That's
cool. That's
Super
cool.
But it's funny that you say that because it's we were at the Ross house. Clayton and my mom, they basically have some sort of like psychic abilities, and it was so weird because it's like whatever entity or whatever was there, it didn't want them to be together, like in the same room. It wanted them to be separated, and like everything was trying to like latch on to whoever tried to attack, try to make their presence known to whoever. And it was mainly like they were the targets, and we were just there.
Yep.
And it was all night pretty much, at least from my perspective, that like they were just the targets to whatever. I mean, crap, even in the trailer on Clayton's channel, he was like, I haven't been really affected like that before or in a long time. And holy thunder.
That was thunder? That's awesome. I heard it too.
Yeah. And there is a time where we're just walking around the furniture store. We're still technically doing our interview, but we're doing the walkthrough. Clayton, out of nowhere, just dips. He disappears. He goes all the way downstairs. Like someone mentioned basement. Immediately, I'm like, where did this dude go? And he's like going downstairs. He's like, yeah, no. There's
the
something.
Balls on this man.
I don't want to go down there. And I find him and I'm like, bro, like something is going on. Like one, and this is at the same exact time, the same exact moment. He gets drawn to the basement. There's this chair in the furniture store with, I think, like a white coat on it. And my mom was like, nope. Like something in this chair or the jacket, there's something here. At that same exact time. I don't know.
That's weird.
At the same time.
That makes you wonder, are coincidences real or is it paranormal? And I always like to say it's paranormal.
But that's what I mean. It's like
we're skeptics at heart though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
I
are.
feel like you have to be.
We are too. But that's why I really want to investigate with more psychic mediums and really like see. But also at the same time, we are skeptics. But we're doing this to make ourselves believe even more. Like we do believe, but we're also with a skeptic
I think
mindset going into it.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to be because you can't just be looking at everything like it's paranormal.
Yeah, no.
You have to be a skeptic to some point, you know. But I'm not sitting here like I I want to bring up an example, but it'll throw us off track again.
Go
Dude,
for it.
we are a train
so-
that never has rails.
So like I remember seeing this video about a bunch of like flat Earth conspiracy theorists. And they're like, if we look at this this light through a hole through another hole 15 feet away from this other light, we won't be able to see it. But if we lift the camera up so the holes are in line with the curvature of the Earth, we can see the light.
It's
And
flat.
they're like, it's not working. And then they raise it up to where they can see the light, which proves that the Earth is round, and they're just kind of like dumbfounded. We're not blindly.
We're not blindly going into an investigation. Like if there's something that like we're like, okay, this needs to be explained like right here, right now.
Right.
We'll go out of our way to do it to try to debunk it. And that's the thing. It's like we need more. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, I guess. We need more debunking and proving that what we just captured isn't exactly paranormal.
Rather than going, that's paranormal.
I have a prime example of that because I know Dweebs is in the chat.
We need to do the steps into knowing, like, okay, maybe this was that, maybe this was this. Let's not go like full.
Yeah. Oh, the Dweebs know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
I know what you're gonna say too.
Ash Walton, just because it's the most recent thing we did, and it literally makes sense to what we're talking about right now.
Exactly.
We were live on TikTok. There's a video. You've seen the Paranormal Quest video on the Ash Walton house. The music box thing, how it started and stopped on its own, literally happened to us, but we didn't know it happened. So we had turned it on and it was going for a while and it stopped, and we kind of just let it be stopped for a while, and we were continuing on with the Estes method. And I picked it up because Trevor sat down and the music box was in the way of the shot for the TikTok live. And I picked the music box up and it started playing the moment I picked it up. And I just moved it underneath the little like shelf that it was on, and it continued to play. And then right as it's about to finish, Trevor goes, "It's done." And then it stopped.
The fuck?
It was wild. I had no idea.
I say,
and the reason I'm bringing this up is because the next day in the morning, we were like, we have to debunk this. Like, we can't leave and not know that it doesn't just play if you pick it up. I went up there, did the same exact thing. It didn't play. Then Trevor took it. And the only way we figured out that you can make this play if you picked it up is if you shake it really hard. Then it spins Cinderella and makes her do her circle. But by just picking it up and moving it the same way I did, probably 3 or 4 times, and it never started playing.
Okay, see, that's what I was gonna ask you, because it's like we don't have a music box yet. We are definitely wanting to get one like very soon. Because I was gonna ask, like, is it just like the REM pod where like you pick it up and it's automatically going on?
Oh, this isn't the music box device. This is a real music box.
No, this was like a
wind it up.
wind it
Oh, well, I mean,
Cinderella
when
like
you said,
spins.
when you said ballerina or whatever you said, I kind of picked it up. But,
No. That's an easy thing to think the other thing, especially when we're talking about paranormal.
Nowadays, yeah.
Oh,
I've never actually gotten.
I've never used the other one.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the cat balls?
We used them this time. They didn't work.
It didn't work for us this time, but it's literally the first time we've ever used them.
It was also a million degrees, so we didn't really pay attention to them.
What's your opinion on the flashlight test method?
Have never done that either.
Okay. Were you about to ask something?
I was just gonna mention how the cat ball method worked really well in the Beller house in the basement.
Did it?
I was gonna mention that
Have to
earlier.
excuse me again. I'll have to be right back. Sorry.
So in the Beller house, there's this little like chair that's there. And we set a cat ball there, and the cat ball was just going off by itself. And mind you, underneath this chair was just concrete. There's a concrete floor, so like you can like stomp, you can do whatever. It's not gonna make it light up. This ball is lighting up by itself. We even wrote an EVP. We even wrote an EVP on that recorder on its chair. Of course, we got nothing, but also at the same time, it was so weird because it's like, why is this cat ball doing whatever it's doing just on this chair? No one's sitting there. You can stomp, you can do whatever on the floor. Nothing. This is just going off. That was one of our most, I guess you can say, compelling cat ball experiences.
I believe it because those things are pretty touchy to like actually make them go off. Like they got to move a pretty good amount.
Yeah, definitely. But what I will say is that if I had to say what was the scariest location we've done so far,
Yeah,
definitely the Ross house.
that's so wild.
Definitely the Ross.
It sounds like it. You keep going back to it, and it's obviously a spot that just like is engraved in your mind. And
well, I mean, when we did Snyder Cemetery, this is not in the video. I cut all this part out. I forgot who was doing. I think it was PJ was doing the slippery pit method, and there was like death threats towards like someone's mother, and I think it was my mom.
So weird.
There's a good chance the power's going to go out because I think a tree just fell in the front yard.
Oh shit!
Oh my goodness.
shit, maybe that's what that thump was.
We'll use your phone if we have to, I guess, huh?
Okay.
So
Oh,
if we
shit.
get disconnected, we will rejoin.
But
Crazy.
there was like all these like death threats to someone's mother, and then what happens immediately? Right, there was even a date. He even said like a date off of the spirit box. What happens immediately right after is that my mom's like throat or something gets like really like she's just like not really able to talk, and it's so like raspy, and it sounds like you have like a very bad sore throat.
Ugh.
And then her legs get like really boom. There's my mom right there. Her legs, like her knees were like really hurting, and then I think she ended up getting COVID. And so it's like all this was happening after we did Snyder Cemetery, and I'm just kind of like freaking out because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, did someone like follow us? Did someone like curse us or whatever? It's like, what is going on?
Didn't that happen to somebody else? Somebody said they were doing like a session somewhere else, and
I don't know. But
It's happened to us a few
after Snyder
times.
Cemetery, it's like all that stuff happened. And then the Ross house is when my mom got attacked. I got affected by crying. Literally everybody there pretty much got affected. I think even AJ of Bynum Investigations, he got scratches on his back.
That's so wild.
All this
Yeah,
stuff.
we haven't
Like
been to a
how?
spot like that yet.
No, not at all. All right, so that kind of rolls into my next question a little bit. What would you guys prefer to do? Urban exploring or like just exploring abandoned locations or the paranormal investigations?
Oh,
Oh, that is a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I think the absolute best, like the icing on top of the cake with the cherry on top, is when we go out to do an abandoned location and we also ghost hunt there. You know,
Right.
that is like 10 out of 10. You know,
we've recently had discussions about that actually.
That's hilarious.
Good and bad.
Because we don't have a lot of abandoned locations here for real at all. And if they are
that
like
safe to go to.
I was just gonna say if they are completely not okay to go into because you are going to die.
The thing is with Among the Unknown as itself, and this is also towards, you know, everybody who's starting to now know about us and find us out from Twitter. Because on Twitter, we're more known for paranormal because of my connections with the whole paranormal community over on that platform.
Because it's a fantastic community.
It really is.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The paranormal community, Twitter can be iffy. But Among Me Known as a brand, we started out doing abandoned places. That's what we are. That's what we do. Yeah. And it's funny because when I used to work at this one job, whenever I would explain like, hey, we explore abandoned places, everybody, yeah, he does haunted places, he looks for ghosts. I'm like, that's not what we're doing. Like, we're going to abandoned places.
It could be, but it's not.
Exactly. Yeah. We're documenting history, preserving that onto film because you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, it could be renovated, it could be demolished, it could be vandalized, like I mentioned about the bowling alley.
Yeah, that's where our roots is just
exploring. That's our roots. And with the paranormal
rejuvenate
stuff,
history.
Right. Yeah. And with the paranormal, like we really got like super serious into like actually wanting to do this
Right.
after the Bel Air House episode last year.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
true.
abandoned places is always going to be really like our hearts.
Right. I
Because
mean, you went to abandoned place today.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that's what Among the Unknown really truly is, but also at the same time, I feel like we really picked a great fucking name for Among the Unknown
Yeah.
because the paranormal, it's unknown.
Yeah, it's got the whole
So it's
umbrella.
very right with the brand. So honestly, both. To answer your
Yeah.
question,
You got
both.
no one.
No, I totally get that because like our podcast, right? Like we originally in our mind, this is what we wanted it to be: live interviews with people.
It took 3.5 years.
Telling ghost stories, and like the envision we had was like telling a ghost story around a fire. If you listen to the actual podcast, like you get the whole campfire in the background aesthetic and everything. And that's literally through every single episode. Even when you guys get released on Spotify, you'll have the campfire and the woods behind us, and it'll sound like we're at a campfire. It's really sweet.
Right.
And we told creepypastas, we wrote our own stories, we talked about urban legends, we talked about monsters, we talked about Bigfoot, we talked about aliens, and
We're
it's
still
just like
doing those things.
we also were like, let's film, us doing a paranormal investigation. I mean, everyone's doing it on YouTube, but why don't we do that part too? And then we started going to haunted locations, and then next thing we know, we're like, okay, let's make a real video and like put it out there. And then so we did a bunch of cemeteries.
Yep.
And like those have always been like, we just released the haunted Indian burials ground video, and that's like our roots of paranormal investigating right there. But we finally like figured out a formula to make it like digestible for your eyes.
Digestible.
It's funny that you mentioned digestible because like when we first started out, when we were filming on our GoPro cameras, we were literally just uploading the videos like intro raw, like no edited footage. Like
people love that. People love that too.
2 hours long.
Yeah, it's not good for us though.
2018, like we went 5 seasons, and what we do for our videos in terms of like abandoned, even now with the paranormal stuff, we like having seasons, and they're like kind of like eras for us. Right now, we just today wrapped up season 15 of Among the Unknown, the Abandoned series. 15. And
how many episodes?
We do 6 episodes a season, and it's kind of been that way since middle school when we first started this, because it's just like our schedules and school, and then just everything else just happened that way. And we just kind of kept that tradition going throughout the years.
Yeah.
And, where was I getting with this? Where was I getting with this?
I don't know.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
What do you say, Riley? You said something. You said something.
I've said a lot of words.
Oh, he forgot what he said. Oh no.
I got it. When we were just uploading just these long videos, it took us 5 seasons for me to sit down and be like, okay, we need to do something about this. It was 2018. We just filmed a whole season in basically a week and a day. And I started cutting out all the filler, adding like cuts in our cameras and all this other stuff. And that's when I'm like, okay, we got something. Like we actually have like a reasonable product to show our audience. And then I just kept with that. And even then, like after we did the Bel Air House video, everybody, including him, was like, dude, your editing has gotten so much better.
Oh yeah. I think you can see that with us too. Like, if
100%.
you go and listen to like our first like 5 episodes, and then
we're underwater,
and go backwards and listen to our like 100 through 150, it's like, whoa. They figured it out. They actually sound like a real show now, and not a bunch of gobbledygook underwater.
Gobble gobble.
And like, I think we have the same thing too. If you look back in all of our episodes, there's like themes that go on, and it's like,
easily, yeah. We go through like phases where we're like, I like aliens this week, I like cryptics next week, and I like ghosts the week after that.
And then we did a bunch of, I think we've done like 15 of them now, of the SCP files. You ever heard of those?
They're amazing.
Yeah,
we've read like almost 100 of those, and those
Damn
are so
near,
much
yeah.
fun because you just never know where the next one's gonna go.
No,
It's
not even
the
close.
craziest thing you've ever thought of, like a dude with a freaking solar system in his stomach. Like what?
Amazing.
It's funny that you mentioned that because me and Morgan, we were kind of like, we were doing a series called The Witching Hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it was kind of like storytelling, but we didn't want to really do like the stereotypical like creepypastas. We really want to do like the actual like scary stories, like controversial shit. That's not just like, oh, teenagers are gonna read. No, like we want it like adult fucking content, and just like us just like reading these stories. And like that was the whole premise of the whole Witching Hour series when we started it. We haven't done it in a while, but there's this. And this is kind of going off track, but on track, I guess.
Never off track.
There's
We
a
got no
story-
rails on the What Goes
No
Bump train.
rails.
There's a story called "The Queen of the Deep Web."
Yeah.
Fantastic story, and that's weird to say, judging by the content in that story. This story was so bad, and I know I just fucking bashed on the whole creepypasta thing, but I found it on the creepypasta wiki or however you want to say it.
No sleep Reddit form.
No, not that. But
We
it
use
was
that quite a
so
That's
bad.
our favorite.
It was so bad that it got removed off of that website. I had to contact the admins and be like, hey, there was a story that I read that was really good. Can I get a copy of it? Somehow, don't know how, the admins tracked down the author of the story. I got in contact with the author. He gave me a whole PDF version of the story. Gave it
Damn.
to me and gave me full permission to narrate it on on our channel. And to this day, it's age restricted.
That's actually really cool though.
That is cool.
We've
We
never actually been able to speak with any of the authors that we've read any of their stories. I don't think any of them really even care.
But-
Sorry.
But
But
It-
yeah,
it's-
obviously.
it's so cool because like with Among the Unknown, like sometimes me and him we just kind of like sit down, we like reminisce about like, dude, we've been doing this for 7 years.
yeah, it's kind of
Right.
crazy to think about. It really
Like
is.
we've been documenting the abandoned places in our own city for 7 holy thunder. For
Oh
7
my
years.
God.
You heard that? You heard that?
Seen it.
Bam.
Seen the
I've seen
flag
it.
first.
You know,
You're going to
but
bed?
we've been doing this for 7 years, and we've only cracked down on almost 100 full episodes of Abandoned. Of course, there's many episodes, but we already have almost 100. But like, we just have this whole track record. Of
Yeah,
just,
and shout out to you, dude. I
That's
was
quite a
looking at
bit.
your views. I look at everyone's like total views before they come on our show always, and you guys are like approaching like 500,000. Like that's so sick.
Dude,
Like I hope you
it's
realize how
crazy.
sick that is.
it's
We're not even to like almost 500,000 downloads, which would be the same thing as plays, essentially, just
right.
the podcast version. And like that's just like it's a huge goal, obviously, for everyone
Yeah,
that
it
does
is.
visual or audio content. 500,000 anything is crazy.
And that's the thing though, like when it comes to like Twitter and us being more known for the paranormal, it's like with Among the Unknown.
Wow.
Woo!
Damn. With Among the Unknown,
Oh my
I want
god.
us to be known
Too bad we're
for
not exploring right now.
Yeah, right? I want us to be known for both. You know, both the abandoned stuff and the paranormal, not just one thing. And that's why on Twitter I'm kind of like, hey, you know, we just explored this abandoned place or check out our abandoned content. You know, we don't just do paranormal.
Right.
Because honestly, in my perspective, and I will say this whether I'm downplaying myself or not, for now, I don't think we have anything to show for the paranormal. Yes, we have season 1 and season 2 of, you know, our paranormal stuff, and like we have videos from 2017. But just right now, I don't think we necessarily have anything to show. Just,
Right.
based on our compared to our abandoned stuff, you know. And of course, eventually down the line, you know, I want to like prove something. I want to like show like, hey, we can also do this on like
Yeah, you don't want to put out weak content that you're like, I don't feel great about this.
exactly. And it's like, hey, we can also do the paranormal, but also we do this as well. This is what this is our roots. This is what we're mainly actually known for. So I don't know how to find a perfect balance. I don't know if there ever will be.
It's so hard.
But
I think you just keep going with what you think is right. It's your channel. You can do anything you want with it. You know what I mean?
It's all gut.
It's all your vision anyways. In the end of the day, whether people are viewing it or not, like if it's something you're proud of, you got to be proud of it. And people will respect that. And that's the thing is like people can tell when you're proud of your own like project, like I feel like that's what's helped us a lot recently is people can tell like how proud of everything we produce is like, and we are not ashamed to admit if something was bad. Like if you go through some of our episodes, there's episodes where we at the end go, we're sorry the audio was shit. Like we don't know what happened, but the stories were so good that we had to put this out there for you.
Yeah.
We apologize for like the bad audio,
and
that's my bad.
And going along the lines of being proud, and you can speak on this one too. It's so cool when this has happened not as much as people would think. Well, okay, scratch what I just said. But completely
more than people would think.
Not even that. Just scratch that whole entire thing that I just said. But it's so cool when we get recognized in public.
Oh yeah.
And there was this one time, exactly where I'm leading to.
I already know.
So we were filming this abandoned school in our city, and we like parked and everything else, and we're walking on the street. We're passing by this abandoned cathedral that we've already explored just a couple months prior or something like that.
Cathedral.
His favorite church. And we see these two people doing drone footage of the church. And I'm just kind of like, just teasing a little bit. And I was like, And I said the name of the church. I'm not going to say it live. Or actually, should I? No? Okay. So I said the name of the church, and then the guy looked at me. He was like, he did a double take. He was like, wait a second. Me and my girlfriend just got done watching your videos.
Yeah.
And we're like,
and then we spawned.
We're like, wow.
and then you spawned. That's funny.
and it was so funny because we ended up doing a collaboration video at the school.
That's awesome.
That was so cool. It was so weird too, because literally just a couple seconds ago, completely out of the blue, a couple seconds ago, he's like, one day we're gonna get so known or whatever, like people are gonna recognize us. Immediately happened as soon as we started.
I can't say that we've had that moment yet, but
no, you did it with another moment though.
Yeah, several times that's happened.
With the title of a certain video that came out recently. Oh my god, that shit was so funny. Riley knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's because people were like, you said Indian. It's not nice to say Indian. You should say Native American.
Oh,
we were like, we use the title of the fucking sign. Like, it's literally what the sign says. And Riley and I hadn't had any backlash though, not a single bit of it for the 2 weeks that we promoted up until we talked to the homies at Ghost Bro on the last live. And when we talked to them, we were like, I bet you people are gonna bitch about it. And not even like 12 hours later, like 3 or 4 different people were like, you had a chance to do it better than what other people did, and you could have used the real term. And it's like, oh, okay, like we're keeping we're trying heritage alive, and like, 2, it's literally not. We're not being disrespectful because we're just doing what was on the sign.
Right.
I would have literally said Native American or Aborigine, whatever the fuck you want to call like them nowadays. At this point, I don't know what even is like not taboo anymore because Karen cancel culture is real.
It really is.
That's almost like people getting on you for calling it the Monroe Demon House because of the word demon. That's almost kind of like the same exact comparison.
See, the thing with that is I think at the same time, we're all going to these locations, right?
Yeah.
and we're putting out someone else's property that has a livelihood probably connected to it, whether they're trying to preserve history or not, like they're probably making a little buck off of it.
Probably.
And a lot of these people own multiple different places, and you go around and you start saying there's a demon here. Either
Now
people
what?
are not going to want the house there anymore in the town because it's
Yeah,
promoting demon and all this
probably.
other like dark stuff, and
bringing
bringing
bad
people to the town
publicity.
because of demons. And like, so like we all have to remember this when we're putting out titles of videos. Like, remember that there's other people's lives could be affected by your title, because your video goes viral and it gets millions and millions of views. Everyone's going to refer to that place as something evil.
Yeah, it's
demonic is there.
immediately got the stigma when you start saying that shit.
Yeah. So like that's just my little like
You nugget.
little thing, I guess. Like, I'm all for getting clicks and views, like all for it. But at the
Clickbait.
same time, we're also marketing someone else's property, business, and
Right.
livelihood. So we have to respect.
We all
that.
just want to make a livelihood at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I mean, do it your own despair, but
I
Just
I
don't be a
feel like
fraud.
It's so crazy now with the paranormal. It's that I mean, it seems like we are having an underground resurgence in a way.
A little bit.
there is definitely.
It
It's
seems like
become,
that the underground channels are like definitely the ones to watch rather than like Ghost Adventures and the big ones now. The YouTube, it's the year of the YouTubers for sure.
And
Definitely.
dude, it's even funnier because Twin Paranormal was just on Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
And
We had a
then
brief cameo, yeah.
and then Zach allowed Sam and Colby to investigate his museum.
Yep.
And here's one thing that's kind of funny. The whole him with the whole destination fear thing, and I guess from rumors him not wanting competition, this and that. But he realizes, and he probably does.
He would have to.
He can't knock down YouTube. He can't knock down YouTubers.
He's going to be dethroned. As much as he probably doesn't want to be, he's going to be dethroned by YouTube.
Yeah, there's just you could literally watch hours and hours and hours and hours of his show, and you can watch hours and hours and hours of different personalities.
Exactly.
So
It's
I mean,
like,
definitely the paranormal landscape on
Yeah.
YouTube is thicker than it has ever been in anyone's life, because this is like,
We
I don't
always
remember 10 years ago going to YouTube to watch
No.
paranormal videos.
And
I
seeing
remember going to the
100,000
Travel
of them.
Channel or
yeah.
like,
Well, what
that's
makes
I
it so
remember.
nice is like we're not getting paid by producers.
Yeah,
We're doing this because like people are generous enough to donate, or we're being monetized from enough people watching it because they're actually believing that we're catching real shit, because we are actually going out there and catching real shit.
And this is the one thing that I love about the Project Fear crew is that
Yeah.
every single thing that they have, they bought out of pocket. They
Yeah,
own
it's
it.
all raw them, which is exactly how almost every crew is. We've been lucky enough to be basically like somewhat sponsored by Riley's dad, and he's helped us get a lot of the equipment that we do have, which is amazing. And he is very, very gracious, and I
We've been
appreciate the
working
shit
on
out of him.
Wow.
Yeah, like we're on the we're getting an Oculus 4. Like, we're on the list for the
Ooh.
next batch of them, which is
Yeah.
pretty sick. So super stoked for that. But like, it is hard to get like camera equipment, all these ghost tools.
It's expensive. I was trying to get
basically a vacation, like to go to a location and investigate.
my Amazon cart right now is at $5,000 for the gimbals and the cameras that I want, and that's like 2 night vision cameras that are better than the ones that we own, and then like 2 vlogging cameras that are like high end, like nice 4K quality, like good shit. So everything is like high quality shit, and the gimbals are like legitimately like camera gimbals, not our phone gimbals. So it's like you could shoot some sick ass bullshit with that stuff.
Also, the paranormal is very expensive.
Expensive.
It's very expensive.
It's so expensive. Locations are not cheap anymore, as much as I wish they were. Wintertime locations are a lot easier to pay for, but me and
That's
Riley
because they
being
know you're gonna
hockey
freeze
players-
your ass off.
Well, me and Riley being hockey players too, we're pretty booked up in the wintertime.
Not so much anymore. Not I'm retired.
Not so more. So you're retiring. I can't believe you're retiring still. It's crazy. Crazy.
I love hockey.
Crazy.
Hockey is great. I've been playing for like 15 years. So I played 3 years semi-pro, back to back league champs. No big deal. Going out with a bang. But anyways, I think it's time to put the fire out for tonight and
do it again next
wrap
time.
up this investigation.
Investigation. Investigation of the
Gosh,
mind.
I told you I
boys.
can't talk. I have the words in my head, and that's not how they come out. I was
These
going to say
investigations.
fantastic conversation
Dude,
that we've
honestly,
been having tonight.
honestly, I'm honestly ready for more questions, man.
Well, yeah. Is there any other questions you guys have?
Trevor, you got one?
Any last ones?
Can't think of any more off the top of my head.
Like,
Yeah,
we
you
Not
guys
off
did
the ripper.
great job answering our
Oh,
really
you
tough
got
ones,
one?
honestly. 'Cause a lot of people do struggle with some of those off the rip, like hard questions we come at you with really, really fast.
Speak.
But
Okay, I have a
I did link
question.
all of your guys. Oh, you have a question, Jenna?
I do.
Fire.
What paranormal group would you love to investigate with?
Ooh.
Well, that's actually a good one.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. All
That's
right.
a good one.
I want to do a collaboration with Paranormal Quest, Spirit Stalkers, definitely Spirit Stalkers.
Oh yeah.
Wolf Paranormal, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Ethan's dope.
Ethan's dope.
Yeah, Paranormal Quest for me.
He take
Paranormal Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Like,
Yeah,
really,
all of those groups are freaking fantastic, man. I would love to freaking be able to collab with them too. It wouldn't even have to be a collab. I just want to hang out with them.
Right.
like
That's
be
the
honest.
problem.
those two groups, really, and of course Ethan. Those are really like my go-tos right now, and like who I really want to do a video with. Like that's just like not like fanboy. I guess that's like a dream come true, quote unquote. But it would just be amazing.
I mean, I love fanboying and I like poor shaming too. Poor shaming's fun.
But yeah, I would love to collaborate with them boys.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to ask you guys where are you guys from?
Michigan.
We're from Michigan.
Oh yeah, you guys did mention that.
Yeah, the western part of Michigan now. We're not from Detroit. That's what we have
No.
to tell everybody. We're not from Detroit.
Yeah,
We're
we're
the
not
from
opposite
West
side of Detroit.
We're West Siders over here.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, this was definitely this is definitely a fun stream. Definitely a fun interview.
Hell yeah.
It was a
We
good
try to
one.
keep it lighthearted, chill, and have a good time. That's what we're all about.
Always.
Definitely would love to do this again.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
We're most definitely going to be circling back through like all of the guests.
I see you. You're circling back to Tommy Tombstone.
Yeah, he's a good buddy of ours. So we actually, to segue into Tommy, I guess would be I met him at a cemetery
Yeah. The craziest part about it.
at 2 a.m. Met him at a cemetery.
That's how it always goes as we run into people.
We've just been super tight ever since.
Nice.
Yeah. Hopefully we can like get something going with him to do another investigation. I know that we've got like a couple of things down the line that we hopefully can line up and hopefully people email us back.
Yeah,
'Cause
for
shit,
sure.
yeah.
Local stuff that we're trying to get into, some old businesses from like the 1800s and stuff like that. So it'd be sick if we can get up in there. I'm sure you guys have places that you feel the same in your hometown. That you're like, man, I would just love to investigate this place.
Jacksonville.
But how do you get in? You know,
New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, about that, and it's funny because I just said this on Twitter. And I also just told you this earlier today in the car. For Pittsburgh, it's so weird because there's nothing to book here.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is around here.
Like sure, you have Hillview Manor, and then you have, which just popped out of absolutely fucking nowhere, thanks to Destination Fear and Paranormal Quest actually as well. The Greene County Historical Society Museum, which is also the Greene County Horror Farm or Almshouse, whatever. That's now popping up. And then you have Crescent Sanatorium and Prison, but that's like an hour to 2 hours east of Pittsburgh. That's the only things that I know of, and then some like 2 places 2 hours up north near Erie. But other than that, there's not much to really book here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
kind of go
that's
out
pretty much what
or
the Haunted Archives was telling us too. Like, there's isn't Transgainy in Pennsylvania?
Trans-Allegheny is in West Virginia.
West Virginia, okay.
But yeah, like you're like, it's so weird because we're in this little bubble where we pretty much kind of have to go out of state for something. And I would love to like find out more stuff here in Pittsburgh. And I've contacted some like local places.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
But like we're at the point where it's like, okay, maybe we can try to find some like local legends, like how we did Dead Man's Hollow and Bloomis Road and Snyder Cemetery. Those are all local legends. Even though maybe the story has been fabricated, whatever, you know, we're paranormal investigators. We're going there to try to see.
You gotta figure it out.
Exactly. But also at the same time, it's like we don't necessarily always want to investigate outdoors.
Right. That's how we always feel.
Like we want to investigate like an actual like building being like inside of a place and investigating.
Yeah, the outdoors element changes everything.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, it does.
Variables in play.
Right. And
Yeah,
plus, it's so hard to do like
variables, yep.
EVPs or anything. And then
No,
doing
it's impossible.
like using like an EMF or a temperature reader, it's even harder because you have like the air surrounding you. So it's kind of a little harder to do.
Yep, I feel the same thing about, like, that was probably the hardest part about our haunted Indian burial ground is that we were outside and then it started downpouring on us. And
It very much so limited what we could do and how the investigation went for real.
Yeah, even when we went to Snyder Cemetery, we were doing it outdoors while it was raining, and there was like rain droplets like hitting my REM pod, and all you hear is beep 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 from the temperature part. And I'm like, is that from the weather, the rain, or is that like something happening?
Yeah,
I'm like, you don't know. So,
But
right.
yeah, I did throw all your guys' links and handles down there in the description. So if you're not subscribed yet to Among the Unknown, you have to go and subscribe and go check out their videos. Like you said, he's got over 100 videos on there for you to digest.
Well, bam.
There's a lot of cool abandoned places in there too. Like I watched one where you guys went into a bank, I believe it was. And then
Actually, funny enough, we have another abandoned bank video coming out soon.
Yeah,
that'll be our next abandoned video.
Like the aesthetic of the building is just crazy cool and stuff. So definitely go check out all those videos.
If someone's starting to watch our abandoned series, start off with season 5 and work your way up, or at least season 10.
That's when it gets good.
Yeah,
literally. That is literally where it starts.
After the warm-up period.
Yeah, that's literally where it starts getting good.
I love it. Well, you heard it here first, folks.
And for the paranormal, start off with season 1, then work your way up to season 2, or just start off with season 2. We'll love it.
Hell yeah, boys.
You'll love it.
Well, again, thank you for taking your time, coming and speak with us. And remember, folks, keep your ears and eyes open for what really goes
bump in the night.
Peace.
You got to